Hi Flosstube, it's Laura, the Sweet Tea Stitcher. It's been about 2 weeks since my last video. I've had a lot of family stuff going on. Had an out-of-town wedding, unfortunately an out-of-town funeral, and work has just been very busy with Mother's Day because I work with flowers. In between that time, I decided I'd start a knit project and just did the back of Feather and Fan on the back of a sugar and cream label. That's what it looks like. It's not perfect. I don't care. It's for me and it's going to clean dirty dishes. It's a really simple pattern. It's like some knitting, some yarn overs, and then 2 rows of purl and knit. So real quick for me to get together, just a few more hours and I'll probably have this done. I just got real busy before Mother's Day and I just kind of put it to the side. What I want to show you today is a thrift store haul that I did a couple weeks ago. I felt like I hit the mother load on this one. For my area, I have a lot of thrift stores, but not all of them carry that I can get cross-stitch stuff at. The one I've had the most success at is actually a kids consignment toy shop. So that's where I've got a lot of those kits that I showed you back in 3. So basic stuff that I got was 18 count fabric, probably 11, I don't know, standard size. Just like that. The other one is more of a beige. It does have like a square cut out, but no big deal. For $2, I will take it. Got some of the Fiddler's Light cloth all in the tube. Appears to be all there. So happy with that. Picked up a 28 count linen. It's got 2 squares of it, about that size. 2 of them. So that's not. So that will come in handy, and I like that kind of flax looking, I don't know if that's flax, but that kind of mottled look with the threads, like that Fiddler's Light cloth. Got some, they're outdated. I'm crazy. They had bread cloths there, or the bread clovers. And I have patterns that show like stitch this in the corner. So I figured this would be fun to do. Could do one for 4 of them, one for each season. So when I'm having company over, I want to do like the big dinner. Instead of just doing a paper towel or a napkin in the bread basket, I can use one of those and look like I'm the hostess with the mostess. Or fake it till we make it. They had perforated plastic. They had those. They had Zweigarts in colors. I don't have a lot of this. So this one's a 14 count Ada in the light blue. Then we had the Victorian Christmas red and the Victorian Christmas green. And those were all the 15 by 18. So lots of color for me to play with. 2 things I picked up, I saw it and I couldn't believe it, that they had them there for $2 each, was the Mill Hill perforated paper. You get 2 sheets in each package. That'll be fun. Figure a lot of this stuff I could probably do ornaments, bookmarks with it, maybe some magnets for the fridge. I don't know. If you have ideas, put it in the comments. Be happy to hear about it. I loved hearing your ideas about how to fancy up that last wedding project I did. Be happy to hear your suggestions about what I should do with some of this stuff. This is vinyl plastic. Oops. Vinyl Ada. I'm sorry. Correct me there. This is actually what I did the nativity scene on for the Advent that I showed you in video 2. It's great. I'm not sure what I'll use it for next, but if I can find a discount on something, I'll figure a use out for it. All right. Other things I got, something a little bit different. This was from Wimple Street Creations. I don't know if it's like a little doily. I don't know. Cup holder? Ornament? I don't know. I didn't mean to buy these. I picked them up and I had them in my hand. I thought I put them back in the bin. I didn't. And I got home. I was like, oh well. I'm only out $2, $3 for it. So, no biggie. They had this Janlin cut and shape stuff. I had like this much on the spool. It looks like this. Not sure what I'll do with it. One thought is I could make it as kind of like a almost like a bell pull, and have something down the side there. I have several books on fonts. I actually have one that actually has, like, I think Christmas fonts on it or something. So I could write Christmas on it. That'd be kind of cute to do. This one, it's a monster green, 30 count. It's a weird color, weird cut of fabric. I get it. But it was an R&R fabric. And so I was like quick. I was like, oh, I recognize that. I recognize that by watching you guys telling me all these different fabrics. Because, again, I was only from Aveda. So not sure what I'll stitch with that. It's a darker green, looks like in the picture. But I'm thinking maybe Easter egg, a little Easter chick or something like that would be cute on it. I found these. Never seen this before. It's from Zweigart. It's called Ada Plus. Have you guys seen this before? It's a stiffer fabric that you can make. It's not plastic. It's not vinyl. It's not paper. It is Ada cloth. This is the front of it. This is the back of it. Almost like an interfacing. They said it's their specially designed process that they use, patented process. So I'm sure it's more than just an interfacing. There's 32 project books. I have seen some of the project books on there, but they showed like a picture frame, a little house, bookmark. So very cute. I love this little bear sitting over the page there. So something very different. Never seen that before. If you have, please share. Please share with me and everybody else on the channel. The last thing I got, and this is the only reason I bought this magazine, it's a Cross Stitch and Country Crafts March, April 95 magazine. It was for that little Easter basket. It's got the tulips and the daffodils and those adorable little bunnies. And if you look real close, you will see the little dyed Easter eggs. And I guess I was just having all the spring vibes, and this just hit me as I want to do this. This would be a big project to do, kind of like that Christmas tree one. Looks like lots of back stitching, lots and lots of back stitching. They've got like 15 colors of back stitching right there. Whew. But it is beautiful, and I'm sure once it's stitched, it's going to look even better. Which this leads me to a tip that I want to share with you about how to save money on cross stitching. Is I use the Libby app for my library. It used to be Overdrive and now it's Libby. And you can actually download magazines. You can get current issues of magazines through there. And they actually have stitch magazines. They have Just Cross Stitch, World of Cross Stitching. They have older cross stitch like Christmas magazines. They have the Cross Stitcher. There's some I saw in there that the last issue that they have, like in digital form, I guess it is from 2014. So you have some older ones as well. I'm not telling you not to go buy and support the publishers that make these magazines, but I know for myself, it's hard for me to drop $15 or more on a magazine when it's covered in plastic, and I understand why. We don't want people stealing the designs. But if the cover is not grabbing me as like buy me, then if it's not my stitching style, it's hard for me to buy that money. This allows me to read the articles, kind of peruse the designs, and be like, oh, you know what? I really like what this publisher does with the designs. It's a lot of issues that I'm enjoying, would like to stitch. It'd be something I'd be willing to invest my money into. So I use it for that. The other thing I do is I've gone to my local library and they have cross-stitch books. One I found was this Reader's Digest, the big book of cross-stitch design. It has over 900 designs in it. I got this from the library, tried it out, stitched something from it, realized I really liked it. Had a lot of versatility to it. So I decided I would spend the $19.95 to purchase the book. So that's what I did. So now I own the book, and it's almost like my cross stitch Bible in a way. They have a whole part on explaining threads. They have a whole part on explaining different knots and stitches. So there's the bullion, how to do a bullion knot. They have a section on how to do beads. They have a section on how to do waist canvas, sequins, just a lot of different information that I found myself to be very valuable. I'll show you some of the things they have in here. They have it all divided into sections, different colors. We've got floral designs here. And this is one of the ones, get my paper here so you don't see anything. This is one I'd like to stitch. The daisies there, the Gerbers. I like that simple design. One I did stitch, and thank you Flosstube because you helped me to redesign this. So I gave it as a gift, as a bookmark. I had these flowers and I reconfigured them, used graph paper, regrafted it, put it in the order I wanted it, made sure it would fit into how big I wanted the fabric to be, and made a bookmark out of it. So that was my creative juices flowing. We've got Nature's Bounty, so your fruits and your vegetables there. One of the ones I want to do from this is this one with the vegetables. It has carrots, parsnips, lettuce. You could even just do that as a simple design on a towel, or you be creative with it. You guys are more creative than I am. Got home comforts. This is the section that won me over. This was one of the first things I stitched in here. It was actually of teapots, and I stitched it as a gift. So you've got 9 different teapots there. It made it really cute, really fun to do, because every teapot that you finish was like a little mini win, a little finish there. We've got animals. They have, in this book, they have small designs, difficulter, that's not a word, very simple designs for a beginner, and then probably more intermediate designs. I have actually, from one of these, when my kids are like, I want to stitch something, and I'm like, well, I don't want to go to the store and get you a new cross-stitch kit, like a basic learn to stitch kit, because I got you one and you bungled it or lost it. Then I'll just be like, here's some fabric, here's some thread, stitch a dog. And it's like all one color, very easy to follow pattern. We'll go for it. Then we've got the kids corner. Like I said, there is something for everybody here. You've got ballerina stuff in there. You've got little shoes, bibs. I did one of these again as a gift. I did this one on waist canvas on some t-shirts that I gave. The dinosaurs. So each kid got like a dinosaur on a t-shirt. So it made a cute gift. That was the time when like just trying to save some money on some birthday gifts for the family and stitch some stuff. This is, oh, I didn't even read what this was. Traditional arts. So you can see they have a lot of different like borders. They give you a ton of ideas of things to use. One of the patterns they use, dollhouse like utensils. They have like mini teeny tiny rolling pins, and they just glue it onto the fabric. This one is cute. It lends itself to so many different things. Is the shaker hearts. So some of these, they're not all stitched. They are cloth, and then they have like buttons on them. Because they'll have blank squares or where you put something else. But you can totally take some of the other designs, make it your own. And I just love how it lends itself to that. This is one of the ones I have my eye on that I want to stitch, is the Delft tiles. Those Holland inspired tiles there. I just love that blue and the white. So this was something that I found at my local library, and it allowed me to kind of see what the designs were. So often I find at the library, or I'll find cross-stitch books, and it's very, very basic designs, or it doesn't add to my knowledge. And I love this book because it gives me a whole breadth of designs that you can build on each other. And also, the instructions, I feel like I can learn something from them. So I'm very happy with this purchase. If you have Libby, I don't know, in disclaimer, I don't know how it works. I don't know if your library system is different than, if all the library systems are different and they end up having to purchase the magazines to do them in digital form, if it's available everywhere. I know there's certain books that are available to me. My mom's in a different library system and she doesn't have the same availability of them. But check it out. And it's not just cross-stitch magazines they have. They have knitting, they have cooking, they have fitness, they have all those magazines that you look at the checkout counter at the grocery store. They might have them. And some of those magazines are not cheap. So if you just want to flip through something, you could go to your local library. They have the periodical section there as well. Or you could stay at home and flip through them. And even if you don't stitch, just seeing what's available is great to see. That's all I have for today. The next time I'm on, I'm hoping to show you some progress that I've been making on my cross stitch. I did have a little tiny finish that I'll show you next time I'm here. And thank you so much for joining me.